Someone once said about AirPods Max, better God himself whisper through these headphones to justify this price. Better, they sound good. Is the sound of AirPods Max really that good? Let's find out. Of course, from power user perspective.
Power user.
I have been using AirPods Max for over a half year now. Through this time, I've had multiple opportunities to compare them with other ANC headphones available on the market, especially before purchasing my pair of APMs. And today I want to share with you my experiences and focus on what makes APMs sound so special. From the actual ANC on-ear headphones available to purchase right now, I had the pleasure of listening to a few models. I divided them into two categories: headphones with a strong sound signature intended for a great music experience, and headphones without any sound signature with the basic flat sound line. That means that these headphones are intended for editing videos or audio mastering. You have to treat their sound as a raw file footage. It is grey. The timbre of the sound is insatiable and you have to use an equalizer to adjust it, the same way you're using sliders in Photoshop to adjust colors. That's why I'm going to cover headphones mainly from the strong sound signature category. AirPods Max definitely belongs to this category. Their sound signature is unique. Excellently balanced mid and high tones allow you to distinguish every instrument, vocals, and sound really crisp and clear, even if it's quiet. Layers are perfectly isolated, allowing you to hear the depth of music and enjoy every aspect of the track. But the bass can be a problem for a lot of people. In my opinion, the amount of bass is perfectly tuned. Not as much to overshadow or destroy other elements of music, but high enough to be satisfying. Despite this, AirPods Max bass is not melty and warm like in Bang & Olufsen H95 or Sony XM5. It's really industrial, sharp and point-wise. Overall, if you care mainly about lower tones and you are looking for a headphones with a high amount of it, give up on AirPods Max. I would gonna talk about bassy alternatives in a second. After listening to all of these headphones, AirPods Max surprised me not only with a great sound signature, but also passed all of my benchmark tests. If it comes to a good benchmark track, my favorite is Somnus, composed by Yoko Shimomura. High female opera vocal is great for testing how deep your audio device can play it. And the part when vocal, piano, violin and double bass are starting to overlap with each other is the best way to test how good your audio device is in separating all of those musical elements. From the audio devices that I was listening to, only my old Fidelio M1, their successor Fidelio L3, AirPods Max and Bang & Olufsen HX and H95 were able to play Somnus clearly without any distortions. And being completely honest, the rest of those headphones failed tragically, creating an unlistenable cacophony with corrupt farting noises, especially Sony XM5 and XM4. Don't get me wrong, they are really good headphones with a good sound isolation and unique sound signature, but the ridiculous amount of bass literally destroys this benchmark track to the point that is unlistenable. This is not acceptable and in my opinion disqualifies this kind of headphones right away. The direct competitor for AirPods Max would be definitely Beoplay H95 and HX. Those headphones have a strong, melted warm jazz sound signature which I loved immediately from the first listening. Both HX and H95 are trying to put the vocals on the front, keeping the mids in the back, and completing the front with these melty warm lower tones. The vocals are really impressive. Both headphones output vocals crystal clearly, with every detail and stunning wide range. So, especially jazz and opera listeners would be satisfied with this sound signature. My personal problem was the mid-range in the HX model. Because they are keeping the mids behind vocals, unfairly separating them by taking the volume of the mids down in comparison to the vocals and bass. This is creating the impression of a faded and blurry mid-range sound, and I didn't like it in Banks HX. The Banks H95 don't have this problem. The mids are more louder and detailed, and they for sure patch all the HX model flaws. But their sound is also not as wide and high as AirPods Max, and you are stuck with a timbre that is good only in a few music genres. As an enjoyer of a wide range of music genres, I don't want to have a headphones capable of playing their best only in a few of them. That was my main issue with Fidelio M1's sound signature. It is dark and cold, with a strong focus on crystal clear sounds and vocals, but the lack of any bass at all disqualifies them in many genres. Unfortunately, the successor Philips Fidelio L3, despite passing my benchmark tracks with no problem at all, shares a really similar sound signature as the M1 model. It has certainly bigger amount of lower tones and the sound improves significantly, but this is still not enough to sound good in many music genres. AirPods Max nails the balance perfectly, and I never listened to better balanced active noise cancelling headphones before. From opera to classical music, through trip-hop, jazz, new and alternative metal, rock, pop, rage and trap, ending with dubstep, electronic music and techno. The flexibility of AirPods Max Sound is their biggest advantage, and they are finding themselves in every genre impressively good. In one sentence, the AirPods Max Sound is just superb. Let's talk now about how AirPods Max Sound differs with different file formats, different devices, different ANC modes, and of course, wired versus wireless difference. I heard a lot of myths that AirPods Max sounds the best only when using Apple Music. To check if it's true, I listened to my favorite benchmark tracks on Apple Music and Fubar 2000 and Flac, both wired and wirelessly. The result is that Flac audio files always sound better than Apple Music lossless AAC files, even wirelessly. You don't have to be afraid that only an Apple Music subscription will unleash the full potential of these headphones. To be honest, from all the audio codecs I tested on these headphones, Flac sounded the best. Another myth that people are misinformed about online is that AirPods Max sounds only good on Apple devices, pointing out that on the Windows operating system the sound is significantly worse. This is also not true. They sound identically great on all platforms that I tested, including Windows and Android. If you are really experiencing worse sound, consider that maybe your Bluetooth adapter or digital to analog converter can be a problem. Both of my PC Bluetooth adapters, Asus BT 4.2 and Arico 5.0 adapters, are working perfectly well, and the sound doesn't differ from my iPhone, MacBook or modern Android device supporting a good Bluetooth chip. As we speak about other operating systems, I tested various audio codecs both on Windows and Android, and still, Flac wins both the wireless and wired category of my test on AirPods Max. How about the active noise cancellation modes then? As always, we have a few options to choose from. The most obvious ones are ANC on, ANC off, and transparency mode. Are they influencing the sound itself? Yes, they are, but only in marginal way. All ANC headphones share the same problem. Sennheiser Momentum, Sony HX5, Fidelio L3, Bose 700, name it. They sound like you are listening to music inside a jar or can of Pepsi. The sound is slightly muted and gets this annoying ANC filter add-on that I hate. Sometimes disabling it helps, sometimes not. Depends on the headphone model. I can gladly report that this is not a problem in AirPods Max, and the sound is distorted in a minimal, hard to differ way, noticeable only in a silent environment. In transparency mode, microphones start to collect sounds from the environment to let you hear what is happening around you, and obviously that is not going in pair with a good audio quality when listening to music. More about transparency mode in my review video about AirPods Max. Next we have a spatial audio settings. That could be a controversial opinion, but I prefer the fixed option. I know that all the audiophiles and purists prefer this option turned off, but thanks to this filter, vocals get much deeper and louder and the bass is more juicy. It coaxes directionality out of the left-right mix in a typical stereo recording, and I like it, especially in the trap and pop music. When the spatial stereo is on, it tracks the position of your device to make the audio louder depending on the side where it's located in addition to your headphones. I find it mostly annoying and it's definitely not intended to listen to music. There are also headphones accommodation settings to increase the volume of soft sounds, but you have to try it and check it yourself if you are into it. I usually have this option turned off. Okay, let's answer the big question. Does AirPods Max sound better on wire, on wireless? And the answer is it doesn't matter, at least if you want to use official Apple cable. AirPods Max has their own DACs built right into them, and plugging the wire switches to a DAC that is built directly into the cable. The better DAC your cable has, the better sound quality you will achieve on wire. So how good is the DAC on the official Apple cable? Only slightly better than DACs built directly into the headphones. You can't even tell the difference after a long session of plugging and unplugging the wire in a completely silent environment. The resolution is slightly lower, but you have to really focus to hear it. I'm hearing it on trebles. They are clearer than on wireless, but overall, this difference is really small, to the point that I would not even bother getting this cable. Originally, I planned to test these headphones in different wired and wireless conditions, with different codecs and operating systems, but as I answered earlier, it all depends on what cable DAC or Bluetooth adapter you are going to use. Most modern devices have a good quality Bluetooth chips already built in, and these headphones are going to sound great on all your modern devices. If you are a purist and have a large music collection in Flac codec, you don't have to give up on them, because in my opinion, AAC codec sounds not as great as good old Flac, even wirelessly. That's why I see no reason to expand those tests. AirPods Max is still the king of sound in comparison to other active noise cancelling headphones available on the market. I recommend them to everyone who values perfect sound balance and enjoys every detail of music. Just enjoy them as a regular pair of headphones with no worries about any Apple Music or Apple devices myths. That's all for today. If you are not sure if you want to wait for AirPods Max 2 or get the first model, go check my video about why I chose them in 2023. Remember also to check my general review of them in terms of build quality and included accessories. All links in the description below. If you have any questions about this device, feel free to ask me in the comments below. Thanks for watching, see you next time. And today's sponsor is Power User. Power User is a fantastic YouTube channel about everyday modern technology. You can find the reviews, unboxing, shorts, and of course, a lot of interesting videos. The content is very informative and solid, and you should definitely check it out. Go and subscribe now.